I understand, yeah.
Like, there are comedians that are friends and comedians that are co-workers. Like, so far, we've been co-workers. But I was hoping maybe after this podcast, we could be friends, Łukasz.
Oh, wow. You have way nicer plan for this podcast than me.
What is your plan?
You do a comic strip in Zurich?
Are you trying to get on comic strip in Zurich? I mean, it's next Friday, but you're not on.
Yeah, I know. But the one afterwards.
When we're next doing it in autumn.
In autumn, yeah.
I'll keep you in consideration. Depends how good friends we are, I guess.
First special I ever saw was Bo Burnham Watt.
Oh, interesting. He's one of the first people that got me into comedy as well. Look, we're bonding.
Yeah. I really like your secret plan more than mine.
Well, your whole secret plan is, when is comic strip in Zurich? Can I get on? That was the extent of it.
He wants to get on the show, man.
It's really cool how much we have in common with like the burlesque performers, the drag acts, and it's like a world that I wouldn't necessarily get to step in. And I get to like dip my toes in just a little, and like truly they talk about the shows in the same way, right? Even though they're doing a completely different thing, they talk about my crowd work was a bit off, there wasn't really a connection.
Yeah, it's exactly the same.
Like exactly the same.
Anyway, continue the bombing story. Yeah. You, Mr. I'm from Scotland.
Lukasz's input is so chaotic. I really should listen to this sometime.
It's actually
I won't. Oh, was that the sound of the one person at your show that likes you?
Yes.
Okay.
This is one clap for each fan we have.
Oh, very nice, very nice. Shout out Kimmy.
Shout out Kimmy! Shout out Kimmy! Let's go, dude.
You know more than I thought you know about this podcast.
I mean, all I'm aware of is it's you two. There's no structure or concept or reason for its existence.
Yes.
So it's just two, people that are really experienced in comedy talking about their lives because people will care. Is that about right?
Almost. I forgot the fun.
It's going to be fun?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll see.
That's the main idea for this podcast.
That's the main idea, okay.
Yeah, but first we do intros.
Oh, intros, okay.
It's like, hey people, welcome to Brolish podcast. I'm your host.
I think it's hey person.
Hey person. I had to be properly chastised by woke man over here. It's hey person.
Nothing to do with wokeness. It's to do with the amount of people.
People isn't it people? Everybody.
People is multiple. I don't believe there are multiple people listening to this.
Oh my god! Jeez. All right.
I think he figured us out.
All right. So I'm Richard.
I'm Łukasz.
And we're here with Mr. Teddy Hogg. Everybody, give it up for him.
That's me. Hi.
Yeah.
Woo!
It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah. I don't know, man. We're gonna figure it out. Teddy. So good to have you here, man. Do people know that you're staying in my house now?
I don't know. Do they? Let's have them find out. I'm sleeping here for a weekend. It's very exciting.
By the way, this house is gonna be Łukasz's house.
Oh, Łukasz, will I be able to stay here when I come to Zurich for shows sometimes?
Sure.
Okay.
That's a good time to ask, like in front of all
Oh, wait, that was your secret plan for the podcast?
No. That's very different.
If you talk about secret plans, they're not secret anymore, Łukasz.
Oh, I forgot how secret work.
You see, this is 1 hour of this.
So usually it's just the two of you?
That's why we prefer to have guests.
Okay. What's the most words Łukasz has said on the podcast?
There was this one time he told, my grandfather's a fish. And that was it.
Is your grandfather a fish?
No, it was related to some story, but...
Was it?
Do I seem like a guy that knows how to tell a story?
No, not really. No, we were talking about mermaids.
Oh.
And then he was like, my grandmother's a fish. My grandma got catfished. And then we were like discussing if you had to date a mermaid, would you rather the bottom half fish or the top half fish?
Okay, the classic question. Can I just have the left half fish?
You can't left. We never thought about that.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, but then you left fish. But
Okay, so we get to what I'm here for.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah, yeah.
So, Łukasz, I don't really know who you are. Like, as a human. Like, I know Richard a little bit.
Yeah.
And, like, obviously I've seen you at shows, Łukasz, and I think you're very funny, but truly you're an enigma. So I have Teddy's questions for Łukasz.
We have a segment coming in. Dun, 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 dun. Daddy's questions for Łukasz.
I just want to get to know you, and also Richard has to shut up, which is going to be hard. So, let's just see. So, Łukasz, tell me about yourself. Where were you born? How was that for you as an experience?
it was great. So my mom was pushing me. There are contractions.
You
happening
weren't born by cesarean.
No.
No. Okay.
No, he's clearly a natural.
He's a natural born.
Natural born.
He's a natural born filler.
Natural born fella.
You got a lineup you need to fill.
Yeah.
You don't have a headliner. But you can push someone else the headliner and put Łukasz in the middle.
As long as somebody's having contractions in the middle.
Okay.
You put me to headline your show.
Were you born in a hospital?
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay.
In Poland. Yeah.
What kind of a hospital?
Normal hospital.
Okay.
They have those in Poland?
They have hospitals in Poland?
Yeah, I think they diagnosed me as a healthy kid.
But I feel like
born.
in Poland, isn't like the church considered a hospital? It's like, you have cancer, go pray.
Yeah, it's equivalent. Like you can choose one of the two. If you are very sick.
Were you raised religious?
In a way, but
What does that mean?
we had religion at school and we would go to church as kids. And then when I was like early teenager, I actually really believed, so I wanted to go to church even if my parents didn't. And
you wanted to go to church, your parents didn't.
Yeah.
What excited you about church?
The whole I don't know, the whole story and I think mainly maybe the singing and like the whole atmosphere of the
Do you think
community.
that has any connection to you doing comedy now?
Suddenly, this is therapy.
This is what I want to do. I want to get to know Łukasz on a deep level and understand him more as a human being. Because so far, all I know is comedy. My granddad was a fish. If my name was Frank.
Right. No, so so I think the reason why I'm doing comedy is my dad is a funny man. First
Your dad's
of all,
a fanny man?
He's a funny man.
Fanny with A.
Is that a Polish slur for gay people?
Just a little bit trans. It's fine. Yeah, he's very progressive for Polish standards.
Okay.
Yeah, and also my mom died when I was 4.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, so that was a big event for me. I didn't remember much, but only like when I was 18, actually, my dad told me that she died because of suicide. So,
wow, I'm not gonna.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So-
That's it. I'm sorry, man.
So it's
Maybe this is why I never got to know Łukasz.
Yeah?
I didn't realize that. Like every time I would want to, just like, oh, this is sad.
No, he's not sad. He has a bunch of good stuff. This one time he threw all his books out of the window in the school. That was very rebellious.
Sounds very exciting.
Yeah.
So that's the like part of
What's
my
your favorite thing
story.
about comedy? What keeps you doing it? What keeps you passionate for comedy?
Mm-hmm.
It's just the energy and like what people give me back in a way.
So it's about what you can get out of it.
I mean, in a way, it's also sharing like whatever stupid thoughts, funny things
What about
with
you?
others. Like I enjoy that aspect.
Okay.
So
What keeps you going in comedy, man?
Do you know, I really enjoy being around narcissists. So
Come on. Come on. We're
I
not.
didn't say you are. I said broadly comedians. It's a higher percentage than most.
All right.
It's a higher percentage than the rest of the population is
take that,
deluded
yes.
narcissists.
Yeah, but that is why
I think you need to have a little bit of that.
I think self-awareness is different from narcissism.
Call it confidence, but like I think the very fundamentally to believe that you are worthy of having a microphone while everyone else shuts up. There's a level of vanity to it.
Sure, but that's very far from narcissism.
No, I know, but then like narcissists will also have. I just think comedy attracts the narcissists.
We're into that. I believe that too.
Yeah.
However,
I'm not saying those are all the ones that get good at comedy. I don't believe that, but
all right.
I think I've met enough comedians.
But what worries me is that why do you enjoy the presence of narcissists? I don't understand.
I don't actually. That was me doing a fun joke, Richard.
We're doing jokes.
Can we do jokes here?
Łukasz, can you do a joke? Do a joke, Łukasz.
My grandma was a fish.
It worked for me.
No, but
It worked for me.
I was trying.
Do you have any other family animal content?
Not today, not now. But
I can answer the question seriously if you want. If you want
Yes,
if you want to have serious
please,
vibes.
yeah,
serious
we
chat.
can have.
mix it. Doesn't matter.
Okay. What keeps me wanting to do comedy is, I think, the feeling of getting better at something. I think that's the ultimate thing for me, is the feeling of continuous progress and pursuing the idea of perfection, even though it's unattainable.
Okay.
Like
so-
pursuing the perfect gig, the perfect show.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's very cool. Like, yeah, I also spend a lot of time thinking about what I'm doing on stage.
Really?
Like, yeah.
yeah, really.
No, you got it. You
So
got to be obsessed.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So this feels very relatable as well. I mean, that's another aspect
What
that
about
I
you?
hadn't
No?
thought.
Can't relate.
Never thought about what I do on stage.
I've always wondered. You're like Jay-Z, right? You don't
Yeah,
write your jokes down.
yeah.
You just go on.
I just go on
and
and
riff
say,
it.
put a beat, Daddy. In silence, and then I just go. No, I think we're very similar. For me, comedy. Nobody asked.
No, I'm curious.
For me, comedy it's the representation of happiness. Like, I think there was a switch in my life in which for years I just searched for something that I would feel truly content doing it. And I never felt that way with many other stuff. And I did a lot of shit. You know, I trained horses. I teach chemistry. I was a preacher. I was like a researcher and chemist. And then I did physics stuff. And I did a bunch of shit. None of that would make me content. And when I'm on stage, I'm content. I'm actually happy.
That's fair.
So then I keep coming back because I know that I'll be happier the better I get. So that's what I'm thinking. It's like, I'm happy now, and as long as I'm getting better, I'm still happy.
That's fascinating. But like, my question is, Łukasz, where'd you go to school?
What a bitch.
In Poland.
Yeah. What was it like? What were you like in school? Were you popular?
Not really.
Were
But
you
also,
unpopular?
I wasn't unpopular.
Were you a bully or bullied?
I'm surprised I wasn't bullied. Like,
Me too.
yeah.
Don't worry.
I was feeling like, why is no one bullying me?
You felt left out because
Yeah,
you were like, oh no, my lunch money's on the table. If only someone wanted to take it.
I felt imposter syndrome, you know. Like, I feel like a bully. Why is no
You
one?
deliberately went into school with your underwear sticking out too high, just hoping someone would give you a wedgie.
Yeah. I was always a nerd, and yeah, so I ended up studying mathematics at Cambridge,
Oh shit, you went to Cambridge. Which
Yeah.
college?
St. Catherine's.
Oh, okay. I haven't heard of it, so it can't be one of the good ones.
It's
Okay.
not one of the big ones.
My ex went to King's.
Oh,
Yeah, and then
That's
she,
why she's your ex.
yeah,
She was smart enough to realize she needed to get the fuck out.
yeah, that's pretty true. But yeah, no, going back to you, Richard.
yeah. What about your comedy? No.
So go back to your little
No,
comedy
no,
stuff.
I
So
was-
you feel happiest on stage.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah.
Earnest question.
Yeah.
Do you think that's healthy?
Okay, so
That the happiest in your life is on stage?
No. Maybe I didn't express myself well. I'm happy off stage, but I'm happy off stage because I found something to do that makes me happy to do it.
Right.
You know, so it's not like I'm not. I'll go on stage, I'll bomb, and it's not like my life is over because my happiness is attached to my performance.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was getting at.
Yeah, no. My happiness is not attached to my performance. My happiness is attached to the fact that I am committed to getting better. So the moment that I start failing myself by not writing or by getting complacent, by being like, oh yeah, it's just another gig. Who cares?
Right.
Then I catch myself being, okay, this is a thermometer. It's telling me that something else, it's wrong under the surface. Because if I'm not giving attention to the things that I love, then something must be inherently wrong. And then I sit down and I think about it, and then I find out that it was a feeling that I didn't address there. So comedy gives me this insight into how I'm feeling truly, which is really great, because it's something that I care and I know I care, so I can trust that it gives me an idea of how I'm truly feeling. Okay, I went a bit deep, so I was actually bullying.
That was interesting.
I was the bully on the school.
I don't care about your personal life. Łukasz, do you have a girlfriend?
Not at the moment.
Not at the moment. Why did your last relationship end? Have you been in a relationship before?
Is this crowd work?
No.
Yeah, maybe I should be practicing crowd work. It would make more sense for me as a host to actually be asking you questions.
No, let him do it.
No, please, be my guest.
It feels great.
He is being your guest.
Yeah, I was in like 2 serious relationships, and the last one ended 2 years ago. Since then I dated a little bit, but then it just ended.
Nice legend.
What?
You tell me you fucked in the last couple of years, yeah? Łukasz is a bad boy. Łukasz is surprisingly ripped.
Yeah.
When I saw him topless at comic strip, I was like, fucking hell. Okay, I see Łukasz in a whole new light now.
He's a sleeper. He hides it.
Yeah. It's just behind like a terrible haircut. He's actually really hot.
Yeah, I need to go to hairdressers.
Dude,
that's true.
Mullet, man.
Yeah, no, something different. But yeah, a bit shorter. But anyway,
how do you feel about the whole comedy thing? The whole what he was saying.
I don't. First of all, like I don't think about my comedy at all. I don't pay attention. I just riff it.
This is the joke I did.
I just try to say exactly the opposite of what I said before.
Trying to get sincerity out of Łukasz. It's
hard.
very difficult.
Yeah.
Okay, Łukasz, what fulfills you about comedy? Or doesn't fulfill you?
Comedy.
As I said, I just... after a nice set, like just comedians, the way they look at me and, they're like, yeah, nice, good job. Like
You're doing it for the other comedians.
And people as well. But it's
there
both.
is a thing. I do feel like there was a phase where I tried really hard to get out of it, where I was like, I'm not saying that this is a bad thing, but like where I was cared more about how the other comedians felt about how I performed.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Than I necessarily cared about myself or the audience. Where like it should be, how do I feel about it for me, from my own standards. But when I was starting to think like, I'm trying to like impress this group of comedians. And the thing is, comedians have fucking terrible senses of humor in a way.
That's true.
Where they're like, they will be like, it was so great how you just went so fucked up there. And it's like, yeah, but like the crowd didn't enjoy it. It's like, yeah, but it was funny. And it was like, was it? The crowd didn't think so.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, but that's the thing. And if I do it, then you would look at me in a way that makes me realize, I bombed or whatever, or crowd didn't
Yeah, but
enjoy it.
You bombed, no?
Yeah.
Are you bad at being able to tell when you bomb? Like the earnest
Be honest.
I sometimes, yeah. Like I think I have a bad time understanding how well or how badly I did. This is true. Sometimes I have a better understanding, especially if I did well.
Does that go both ways? Does that go like if you did well, you sometimes think you did badly, or is it only sometimes? Because then it's healthy, I think.
Yes, it goes both ways.
You go both ways.
I think it's on a spectrum.
That's interesting. So he goes both ways, and he's on the spectrum.
Yeah. I mean, it happened.
Interesting.
It happened.
I'm liking getting to know Łukasz.
We got it, dude. We got it.
Yeah, but you were saying everyone in comedy is a narcissist. But what I think is everyone in comedy is an autistic. So
I mean, there's a high percentage of them. I think everyone's got autism or ADHD. One of the two.
Not me.
Baby, you scream ADHD dazzle.
No.
Although maybe actually you're very tidy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I have brushes.
I think you've got like PTSD.
I have brushes of it.
probably that's what it is.
Is it
That's your
PTSD?
set of
No.
letters.
I never had any traumatic experience in my life
Yeah.
in the past month, except getting kicked out of the country.
Yeah.
That actually happened.
I'm sorry about that.
Thanks, man. I actually got the letter.
I shouldn't have reported you.
You and my neighbors. Yeah.
You were being noisy.
I like playing video games naked, shouting. No, man, it's good. It's good. I'm good. Whatever. Or no, I had something important to ask. Fuck.
Oh.
Do you think that ever goes away, like this feeling of what are the comedians gonna think of this? Do you think a little bit of this is healthy? Because I think it is.
I think a little bit is healthy, but I think it's also not. You don't want to think what all the comedians think.
Yeah, you should.
Right?
Have,
There's people whose opinions I care about.
Right.
And there's a whole, but most of them, I couldn't give a fuck.
Right, you're right. If somebody,
I mean, obviously it's nice if they like it, then obviously that's flattering and whatever. But like, my thing is, if I'm not impressed by a comedian myself, I kind of don't care about their opinion on my comedy. If they're not doing it significantly better than me, I don't care about their opinion.
I feel,
I mean, like I can still enjoy a conversation about it afterwards off stage, and if it's like on a friend level, it's a different thing.
Yeah.
But then it's like this is my friend's opinion, not this is fellow comedian's opinion. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
Like there are comedians that are friends and comedians that are co-workers. Like so far, we've been co-workers, but I was hoping maybe after this podcast we could be friends, Łukasz.
Oh wow, you have a way nicer plan for this podcast than me.
What is your plan?
Secret plans.
Okay.
You do a comic strip in Zurich.
You trying to get on comic strip in Zurich? I mean, it's next Friday, but you're not on.
Yeah, I know, but the one afterwards.
When we're next doing it in autumn.
In autumn, yeah.
I'll keep you in consideration. Depends how good friends we are, I guess.
Oh, we need to be friends.
So
I just wanted to stay at the co-workers level.
Łukasz, what was your first job?
I was going to ask that.
Software engineer.
Okay, how come?
Because then I did masters in mathematics and computer science in Bonn, in Germany.
What is it about numbers that you like?
They make sense. Like this is what I loved about mathematics from a young age, that it's really, once you understand the basics, like you can
Do you know why that's very interesting to me? Because comedy, I think it's fair to say, is chaotic as fuck in its style. And then like if you're like very like into like things being very logical, the way you approach comedy seems to be very different to that.
In a way, but I think, well, I also love, apart from having things structured, I love spontaneity and randomness, and craziness. Like I like this aspect of my life. So I think there are just like two different areas.
And was your ex spontaneous?
She was
What is it
horrible.
about
I hated
ex?
her. If she's watching you, fuck you. All right.
No,
Your
my
ex.
ex. My ex she's fine. We talked recently, but it's not the girl that you think about.
Okay, there's one that I hate, man.
Oh yeah?
Oh yeah, she was terrible.
But I realized I was my ex. She's like into astrology and tarot reading now.
Okay.
She used to be into astrology when
And,
we were together, so I knew a little bit about.
What's
it.
her Instagram?
I can give it to you later.
I would like to be your Eskimo brother. Maybe that's how we could bond.
Łukasz.
Yeah, but I don't know what I like. I mean, first comedy I saw, first special I ever saw was Bo Burnham. What?
Oh, interesting. He's one of the first people that got me into comedy as well. Look, we're bonding.
Yeah. I really like your secret plan more than mine.
Well, your whole secret plan is, when is comic strip in Zurich? Can I get on? That was the extent of it.
He wants to get on the show, man.
Do I look like a guy with a plan?
So do you still like Bo Burnham?
Yeah. Oh, I think he's a genius.
I agree. I think he's a genius. But I guess my question is, I don't know how you feel about Bo Burnham. I feel like you don't like it instinctively, Richard.
I can see the beauty of it.
But you don't find it funny.
It's no.
Okay, I think that's fair.
I agree when you guys say that he's a genius. I agree when you guys say that he's compelling, talented, funny. It's just not my kind of thing.
That's fair.
You
I
know,
think that's
like,
a valid opinion.
I feel like the people that I like the most is the people who challenge me to enjoy. You know, like in Bo Burnham, I feel like I figured out his vibe.
Ooh, this is where you lost me. In terms of challenge you, like...
No, he does challenge me, but like I feel like, for example, somebody who challenged me is like Norm.
Sure.
Sometimes it takes me a while to understand what the fuck was Norm saying. And I like...
Have you watched Inside?
Yeah, it's a weird...
You're telling me that's not fucking challenging? I mean, like, there's plenty sticks that you can beat Bo Burnham with. I do think he has a lot of jokes that I'm think... So the reason I also asked you, Łukasz, what you think of him now is I think I grew up loving Bo Burnham. I think everything pre-Make Happy... I don't particularly like anymore. Like
really?
I don't think what holds up that well. But I'm a super fan. I still think Inside is the best piece of art made about the pandemic of anything.
Right.
But like,
I still keep returning to what from time to time. Yeah.
Okay.
The thing is that I watched it so long ago. I was a very different person. So there's this things in which you revisit. And then you change your mind about it. And it was like that for me. For example, I saw Dave Atell before starting comedy, and I was just like, man, it's too quick. What's going on? And then now that I know comedy, I look at it and I go, holy shit, this is crazy.
So Dave Atell.
Oh no, don't do it.
No,
don't fucking do it.
No. Obviously, he's very good. He's very, very good. The level of hype that people have around him, I can't say I fully get it. And like, it's not that I don't think he's excellent. And I think like I watched his new special.
Yeah.
I was like, there were like 4 or 5 jokes that I was like, that's fucking fantastic joke. But like the way some stand-ups talk about him as like on another planet than the rest of comedy, I don't quite see it.
Okay.
Yeah, same for me because I watched.
Don't say that in front of Chris Darwin.
Yeah, but I was.
I'm like open to be persuaded,
sure.
and it's not a criticism.
Right.
Like, and I'm sure he's a fucking. Like I'm sure it would murder me live, and like I loved a lot of what he did. I loved a lot of the choices. I loved that he made it just 35 minutes or 40 minutes. Like that choice, I think, is perfect for that kind of comedy.
Special, yeah.
And I think he's really, really excellent. But when people talk about him as like the greatest of all time in terms of like joke writing, I'm like, it was really, really, really good.
Yeah.
Is it for me in the greatest of all time? Meh.
Yeah. And also half of these jokes were like in the last special. Oh, I look like a guy in a zoo standing by the aquarium.
Yeah, there were like 7 I look like jokes.
Yeah, all right.
Which they were fine,
more.
but they're not. They were good I look like jokes, but
they were great, yeah.
Okay, I see. Wait, the way I see it is like this. I think like from stand-up, you had like sliders. Like if you were creating a character, you know, and you have sliders that you put stats on. And there are some comedians who just like max charisma. Like that, the Fluffy, that guy.
Sure.
You know, like he
I would have
sells...
gone with Patrice O'Neill, but sure.
No, but
You can go
like
with
no,
Fluffy.
but Patricio Neal had other stuff. He wasn't just charisma.
No, but okay.
Fluffy's just
so
charisma.
you could only have certain
Right? Yeah, you have a number of points that you have to distribute.
God, you're a video game nerd, eh?
Yes. Yeah, I'm just saying. Imagine that you had 100 points.
Okay.
Fluffy would have 95 on fucking on charisma,
Sure.
and then 1 in each other of the things: joke writing. I don't know what else we could talk about. Artsy. I think like that's Bourbon. He just maxed the artsy thing, and I think you.
I don't think he maxed it. I think he maxed 70%. I think there's
Yeah,
some
yeah, it's
people
the
that you
highest
don't.
stat.
There's some people that you probably haven't watched that.
that
Like,
maxed the art.
yeah. I don't know if you're familiar with Natalie Palomides.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm saying like for me, you have like the higher art status.
It's true.
Yeah, and then you.
He knows your stats.
C'est vrai. C'est vrai.
I would,
Veramente.
I would fucking drop the charisma by 2 now. After this one, I'm changing my stat. So I feel like you identify more with people that are in the same thing. Like,
Oh yeah, sure.
so for me,
I make it no secret that I'm less of a stand-up purist and I'm more of an art fan.
Yeah, there you go.
And I like stand-up
Yeah.
comedy
So
as
that-
an art form, but yeah.
I think that totally validates your point about Atell, because Atell is the guy who just maximized joke writing.
Yeah.
You know, like he's the highest joke writing stats.
I also-
think because on the pure sense of what a joke is, and I
Yeah,
like
but
it.
like
I was like, fuck yeah.
but like Anthony Jeselnik's in my top 3, and I would say he's
See,
very
like-
like he's not art boy.
No.
He's very like joke. I mean, like my case would be that I think Anthony Jeselnik is a better joke writer than Dave Atell.
Boy.
Like,
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, and he actually says joke and then joke and joke.
what is
And
cool?
they-
What is impressive with Dave Attell was the sheer flow of it, right? The
Yeah,
sheer
that's
amount
true.
that like a punchline sometimes served as a setup for the next shit.
Yeah,
like
it-
incredibly tight, obviously, and like heroes bringing heroes to heroes is an iconically clever line.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know.
yeah, it's great.
It's just like it's just. I like that you had like this delayed reaction. They were like, "This is really funny." Actually. Anyway,
I was thinking about myself being a hero, the other night. Anyway,
you were thinking about yourself being a hero. What kind of a hero would you be, Łukasz? If you were a
yeah, I
superhero?
was the one ordering
You were the one ordering.
the heroes that brought me heroes.
So you weren't a hero. You were the hero ordering a hero to be brought to you by a hero.
Now we're going meta, dude.
Uh
Yeah, I'm not even sure what a hero is anymore.
huh. So a hero is a gyros sandwich, but Americans pronounce it hero.
No, not Americans. It's the Greek pronounced hero.
No, but
The Greek pronunciation is
but
hero.
isn't it more like gyro?
Oh, so I didn't even understand the
I thought-
joke
well, no, I'm pretty
till
sure
now.
Just understood the joke.
So earlier, when you laughed a lot, you were like, "That's so funny."
This joke is way better than I thought.
Actually, David tells the goat.
There you go. I knew he didn't know.
I'm loving this little journey we're going on, Luca.
That's great.
Wow, we are all learning, aren't we?
So, Bo Burnham was your first exposure to comedy,
Yeah.
and then what happened?
And then Louis C.K., Bill Burr, and then I somehow stumbled upon Stuart Lee. Someone played it at some party.
That
We were
makes sense.
playing poker, and I listened to it, and I was like, "Wow, this guy is a genius."
Have you got down the Stuart Lee rabbit hole much, Richard?
Oh, yeah. I'm going
should.
soon.
I saw him live as well in London,
Oh yeah,
and it was by far the best live show I've seen.
I believe it.
I've seen Louis C.K. as well live, Bill Burr, but this was on another
I have no
level.
money. I can't see them.
There'll be opportunities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Soon, man. Soon. Soon. Very good. What about like you started with Bo Burnham?
Yeah, what about you?
Bo Burnham?
Kinda. Like honestly, I think it's either Bo Burnham or Louis C.K. I couldn't tell you which one was like the first that was like my exposure to stand-up comedy as a concept. And then when I was a teen, it was that. But then a lot of like, I always say that I it was never that I necessarily wanted to. That I was necessarily like, ooh, stand-up comedy, but it was like funny people. So like
Right.
genuinely, I would like add in like Monty Python.
Yeah.
I would add in who's there? Dylan Moran was one of my first favorites. Dylan Moran, like I remember my ex showed me a Dylan Moran clip, and like I was like, you can just do that. he's just talking, and he's so funny. Like, oh, this is unreal. But like, I mean, he is a stand-up, but like just weird shit like Black Books or
I don't know what that is.
it's like a British sitcom with Dylan Moran. It's very very funny. Very much recommend it. But yeah, so then like, and then yada yada yada, life happened, and then eventually I was like, oh shit, everyone I look up to is funny. Like I get my news from Jon Stewart, you know, I get my other, like everything that I was consuming, there was a funny thing to it, and I was like, oh, I realized that I think being funny equals being intelligent, and I'm so desperate to prove that I'm intelligent because I fucked up in school, but like was a child with great potential, one of those ones.
That sucks,
Yeah, yeah.
man. That fucking sucks.
But like then the comedy was my way for like initially, and this is not still why I do it, but initially it was like, oh, if I'm good at this, I can feel smart.
Yeah.
And I can feel
shit.
intelligent.
Okay, so then we found it.
Yeah.
Dude, this is great. You had this child with great potential vibe too, no?
Yeah.
He's still thinking about heroes.
I didn't order a hero. I'm not a hero, I guess.
Wait, actually, I have to investigate this. Do you actually like gyros? Do you know what that is?
It's something wrapped in a bread, kind of flat bread.
Okay, yeah, okay, yeah.
It's like the Greek kebab, kind of.
Yeah, I'll let you have that. Yeah, it's
I
kind
don't
of.
know. Do you have
I
a
just
better?
needed to be sure that he actually understood it, just in case there was more.
Check it. No, I would like
He's
to.
not Czech. He's Polish. Anyway,
Yeah, half Slovak.
Half Slovak. No, I wanted to dig a little bit deeper on this thing because I feel like this is starting to be a pattern.
Dig deeper.
Nah, that's starting to be a pattern in which like the people that I love hanging out and talking to comedy about it had this thing in which at one point in their childhood or their development, people told you like, oh my God, you're really smart.
Yeah.
You're so smart. And then like we were told that we were smart. And then that's the positive and the negative of it. For me, that was very painful once I moved to Italy. Because in Brazil, I felt like I was...
Because in Brazil, you were smart, but in Italy, you were dumb.
Yeah.
Wait, I was making a joke. What do you mean? How?
No, it's
Oh,
true.
because you couldn't speak the language? Or
No. Because like in Brazil, the level's lower. I just never needed...
yeah. Okay, in Brazil, you were educated. And
I was required less than I was required in Italy.
Okay.
So when I was doing my PhD there, like I realized that my whole life, I never learned how to study. I didn't know how to study because I never needed it.
Yeah, same.
So that made me very...
I was cursed
way
with
behind.
being really good at getting away with not studying.
Oh, yeah. Same.
So I was really good at a very early age with not doing the homework, talking my way out of it, still doing well enough on the exams, to the point that I just never learned, like, oh, you have to actually work if you want something to work.
Yeah.
And I was just like, no, I'm just gonna rely on my natural talent.
100%.
Well, my natural talent and knowledge of biology, which is just, I'll get it by vibe. Like mitochondria kind of does feel like the powerhouse of the cell, just instinctively. What's your favorite part of a cell?
Mitochondrium.
Mitochondria is good. Yeah. Okay.
I imagine Teddy having a date with this hot, super beautiful woman, and then he goes and say, "Hey, what's your favorite part of the cell?" And the girl goes, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, the hole in the floor where you pee.
Oh my God! Wow! But now we're doing jokes.
Yeah.
You know what
The
I liked
prison
about
cell.
that? I could see it in your eyes coming from like 30 seconds ago. It was like calculating maths, joke. Okay, so heroes are like this. They are sandwiches. But also, it means a hero, but also a cell.
Really
Yeah.
good, man. We're so hot.
Yeah, I was similar at school. I didn't really study.
Nobody
so much.
asked, Łukasz.
He wanted to be bullied. He asked for it.
yeah.
You were asking for it, Łukasz.
I'm glad we are having fun here. It's
I've gotten
great.
to know enough of Łukasz and I've decided I'm done. I don't want more.
I shouldn't have revealed any secrets.
I know
man,
who's
that
not
is
getting on
awesome.
comic strip. Yeah, by the way, comic strip is this Friday and this Saturday if anyone's coming.
Yeah, man. So I think we're gonna publish this maybe next week, so it's gonna be closed on the day of it.
Oh, okay. Well,
So it's
third
it's
and
worth-
fourth. Yeah,
Yes,
shout out.
comic strip show. It's beautiful. I've been there. Łukasz been there.
Yeah, I performed there.
I stripped there.
I've done both.
Yes, serotonin.
Yeah. Tell
It's
me
a
more,
great
Tell me
show.
more about yourself, Richard.
Me?
Yeah.
No, it's good, man. Like this thing about finding out that you're dumb, not because you are dumb, but because of the way you're behaving.
Mm-hmm.
It took me years to find it out.
Oh yeah, it took me so long to realize that you don't you can be gifted at certain shit, but there's some stuff that you, no matter how naturally gifted you are, it's ultimately just admin. And it's admin you gotta just sit down and do, and it will be unfulfilling and annoying and the worst. And it's still something I really struggle with, right? It's still something I really struggle with in therapy. My biggest anxiety causer is my postbox by a mile.
Your what?
Postbox.
Post.
So you know the box where you get letters?
Oh yeah.
So you know where like that wizard that sends you like debts that you have with him because of that deal you struck with the devil a while ago?
Yeah, I thought it's low interest, so I thought it was a good deal.
Good improv.
Hey, speaking of improv, this guy was performing yesterday at the Comedy House with
Oh, yeah?
his improv group.
Oh shit! I didn't
Yeah.
even know you did like serious improv.
See?
Well, I did a course like
Recently.
yeah, just now.
Oh shit! How was it? How'd you find it?
Oh, it was quite fun. Yeah,
That's it?
that's it. No, I
Oh, Jesus,
I did
this is great
improv.
podcast.
Yes, and
That's
it was
great
fun.
podcast.
And what else?
and it was so cool that I get to do a show at Comedy House. And it was just 5 people from my group, and yeah, it was fun. We were like level 2.
Uh-huh.
There were like 4 different levels of improv that you can do at
How
this
much was
school.
how much was the course? Just out of curiosity.
300 something
Okay, that's not
France.
the
That's not
worst.
that bad.
for like 7 or 8 weeks.
That's actually similar-ish to what I paid in London for my course.
Yeah, so it's not bad, but I paid like double the price kind of for a different course before, and it was way better. Completely different level.
The other course.
The other course, yeah.
Oh, so this
And
last course, you're saying they were a bunch of bozos.
Yeah, it was just not. Okay, I'm not gonna say anything else. And but it was fun to do improv. But yeah, I just had such high expectations compared to the other course.
Was the previous course in Zurich as well?
Yeah. It's
Okay.
run by.
So there's actually a decent Zurich improv scene?
So there is, like at least there is this one Canadian, Tara Broden, and she has Close Encounter Theaters, and I think she's great.
Okay.
And the course I did there was great, but then
Because my thing with improv, and like I did like a course in London, and my ex was heavy deep into improv, so like we like did scenes in that, like not in a sexy way, just like in a genuine for fun way. So like I learned a lot about improv by osmosis.
What a fucking nerd, dude.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm not ashamed of it. But like the thing with improv is it's amazingly fun with fun people. But as soon as you're doing, if you have one weak link, it's fucking the worst. And it's the most embarrassing, cringy shit in the world. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, I totally understand that.
Like it's like when I've seen improv performed live, some of my favorite shows I've seen live were improv shows, just because when it's magical, it's fucking magical.
that's
Yeah.
true.
But if it's even a little not good, it's terrible. It's like the worst thing you've ever seen.
Yeah, that's how I felt when I watched your improv show, dude. I was like, well, I love Łukasz. When does it finish? You know, like
No,
stuff.
because I'd love to have like an improv group in Switzerland that to like just to play with, just to practice. Because I think it's really good practice for comedy. I think it's really good practice in general for being in the moment, being present. Because like improv forces you, where like stand up is all about talking, improv is all about listening. And that's such a fundamental difference to approaching comedy. And I think people who've done a lot of improv are much more interesting crowd workers when they do stand up, because they engage with what the person's actually saying because they're used to listening, as opposed to being like stand-ups who can tend to like railroad like the audience to get to their joke that they have in their head.
I see. I mean, I think I learned this lesson from Victor Patrascan, because Victor does that.
Who?
He listens very well. Victor Patrascan.
I know. Yeah, I was just taking the piss.
He listens really well, and I just took that. So I for my whenever I'm trying to do crowd work, I'm trying to understand not only what this person's saying, but where does he come from? You know, like in the sense, not like where do you come from, Poland? No, it's like what's his intentions? What's behind what he's saying?
What's wrong with Poland?
Yeah.
Poland's great, dude. I love Poland.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's this? Is the joke?
Yeah,
You're doing crowd work? Oh, where are you from? Oh, Poland. Oh, let's all laugh now.
Yeah, it's all like ha 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 ha. Is the idea of someone being Polish is hilarious to you?
For me, it is.
Wow.
Automatically. If you're a Pole, you are funny. Bober kurwa. It's like right away, I think you're perfect.
So he learned some Polish. Łukasz, I'm so sorry you have to experience this.
Yeah.
Is this what it's like all the time? You realize the podcast is Brolish. So the Olish is 5 letters. The Brr is 2.
2 letters, yeah.
Łukasz is 5/7 of this podcast.
No, but like, wait, you have to adjust that Brazil only have 5 letters, 6 letters, and Poland has more. So then like...
Poland has
6.
literally has 6 as well,
They
you
have the same
fucking
amount.
mug.
Okay, Teddy, tell us about yourself.
What do you want to know? I'm an open book.
Poland, dude.
I will tell you literally
know.
any gossip you want.
Oh, this is great.
Okay, yeah. So, any gossip about the comic strip in autumn? Do you have some new friends that you want to invite?
We're looking at some very exciting acts.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're coming from abroad. It's very cool.
Let me ask you something weird. All
Okay,
right.
ask me something
It's
weird.
not
Go for
something
it.
weird. It's all right. Look,
Okay, 6 inches.
do you have to... And I didn't ask about the circumference of your asshole.
The circumference. Ooh, Richard learned a big word.
Now, circumference and radius. No.
Yeah, so diameter is around 2. Anyway.
Yeah, which is pretty
Circumference was one of the more disappointing nights of the round table.
He wanted to solve anything.
But he was better than circumcision.
comedy.
Go on, what was your question? I'm sorry I keep derailing this by accident,
Which? Doing what?
the conversation. But you had a question.
Doing a conversation by accident. This podcast.
No, okay, fair enough.
This is the whole concept of it.
Yeah.
No, it's like you had to deal with
6 inches.
You have to deal with comedians, and you have to deal with other performers like the burlesque, the strippers, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
In order to do the show, is it hard to deal with one with respect to the other? Do they have like, because
Do they have
I haven't
particular
met,
quirks or?
right? Yeah, I met very few comedians with diva complex. Very few.
I met a couple.
You know, yeah, that's me. I met like maybe 3 or 4 with the biggest shows that we do here. That people that literally go like, "Hey, I don't want anybody in the green room. I want to talk to just the other comics or stuff like that."
Oh yeah, I mean I'd have stories there, but I'm not going to name drop people because it might hurt my career. But there are definitely people that I've worked with that were comedians that were nightmarishly diva-ish. But like,
It tells us the worst story without naming names. Now, of course, I want to name names, but after the podcast is over, yeah.
Why do you keep staring at me?
You're not a diva. You're not a diva. You're not in a position to make demands yet. I'll put it this way. There's been multiple that I can think of that just clearly like I was opening for that like just didn't like take the moment to like even remember my name. Like I'm not gonna. There's one particular story I would share, but if in any way she were to see this, she would immediately know it's her. But it's quite specific. But so I'm not going to do that. But you asked about like whether it's different with like burlesque performers, drag performers.
Yeah, because I feel they're very chill. When I hang out with them, they seem very chill.
I mean, look, I'll put it. It's the same way that I would say with comedians, where like most of them are just normal-ish people with perhaps it's particularly the drag acts will like they will tend to take up a lot of space in a room by having a kind of magnetic aura a lot of the time and being in like performance mode from the moment the green room opens. And depending on if they're fun and funny, it's great. If they're not as funny as they think they are, it's very tiring. But like mostly it's great. Like mostly I've only had positive experiences, and like the burlesque acts are generally just really cool and chill and normal. Every now and then we get someone but they're not like diva-ish. Even the ones that were a bit on the rude side, mostly they were just quiet. Mostly they were just like, I just want to be to myself. And it was like, this is just another show, and we're kind of trying to do this whole thing of like, no, like backstage there's like community and we're all a team. And they're a bit more like, no, I do my thing, which is, kind of fair enough.
Normal, yeah.
Like, and it's the same with comedians, isn't it? Like, sometimes the comedians are really awkward around the burlesque performers because you've both done comic strip. There's like a lot of nudity backstage and whatever, and it's completely just you have to be fine with it. And sometimes the comedians are weird around it, but not in like a creepy way, just in like I don't know how to deal with this situation.
Yeah. Why do you keep looking at me?
You were on comic strip?
Just once, and I might be a second time because I'm making a friend.
But no,
so cute.
But I
nice.
love
Right,
working with the drag acts as well. It's because it's like I think it's really cool how much we have in common with like the burlesque performers, the drag acts, and it's like a world that I wouldn't necessarily get to step in, and I get to like dip my toes in just a little, and like truly. They talk about the shows in the same way, right? Even though they're doing a completely different thing, they talk about, like literally when the burlesque acts interact with the crowd, they call it crowd work as well, right?
Yeah.
And they'll talk about like, my crowd work was a bit off. There wasn't really a connection.
Yeah, it's exactly the same.
Like exactly the same, except they're talking about like rubbing their ass on someone's lap, and we're talking about
rubbing
finding
on their
out what brought them to Switzerland. You know what I mean?
Damn, yeah, all right. That's cool. It's very similar. I felt very welcomed when I did the comic strip and I was in the backstage with all the burlesque guys.
No, that wasn't what we were going for with you. But
yeah, fine. But that's how I felt because I'm stupid. No, I felt very good. I felt like we're worried about the same kind of worries, about the energy, about the performance. It's the same. It's the same. The thing that we're gonna talk about now is an easy topic. It's money.
Okay, what about it? How much you want?
Do you see money as a measure of success in comedy? Because you're an artsy boy.
No, I think at my core I don't view it as success in comedy. I view it as success in professionalism. But I don't view it's not like rap, right? Where like rappers will be like, I make so much more money than this guy. That means I'm better. Yeah. And like I don't believe that's actually true in rap, but they can. But I don't like it when any comedian's like. And it's not about how much money you make. I mean, it's if you're making your living from comedy, you've made it. That's how I see it. Like genuinely, I've recently went full time, like in the last 6 months or so, and the way I see it, I'm living like. I've made it. Anything above this is a bonus.
Perfect. Got it.
That being said, you still need the fucking money. And truth be told, it's not. I don't consider my job to be making money from doing comedy. I consider my job to be making money from event management.
Yeah, that is true.
And then a little bit from performance, because in Europe you're not gonna get booked as an act, just performing enough to ever make enough money.
Right, you need to
It's not
have
a
your
thing.
own shows.
You need to have your own shows unless you start doing it in the local language. So you could potentially in Swiss German.
Yeah.
But then you're tied to that, and that's shitty for different reasons.
Have you ever got close of moving out of Switzerland?
Yeah, a couple times. It was a long-term plan at one point to move to Berlin when the Berlin scene was still really good.
Hey, wait a minute.
What happened then?
There's just like it's just. I mean, there's a whole beef there right now, but none of them will watch this, and if they do, I don't really care. But like, there's just a lot of. It's not really improved since 2021. It used to be really, really good, and it's not really got much better to the point that I think the best acts in Switzerland are as good as the best acts in Berlin.
Yeah.
I think what Berlin has is they have a lot more, but they also have a lot more mediocrity. Like, they have a lot of acts that are, 3 years in and are fine,
Yeah.
but deeply unoriginal, deeply whatever. Whereas Switzerland, we kind of, weirdly, besides you two, pretty much, we mostly we got the old guard
Yeah.
and then complete newbies. And there's not much of an in-between.
We are squeezed in, sandwiched.
You guys are somewhere in the in-between of like, because you are both relatively new. You're what, like 1.5 years?
We started at the same time, pretty much.
Okay, so you're both like 1.5 years. You're still like, like in grander comedy terms, I'm a baby and I've been going 7 years. You know what I mean? Like, so you're like a baby's baby. Your baby's bringing babies to babies. A bebes is a different kind of Greek sandwich.
I hope I don't have to explain this one.
But here we don't have like much of a middle tier of like people that are pushing the established, like Chris Darwas and Benjamins and whatever's, like they're all. There's not many of the new people that are like pushing them from underneath. You know what I mean? I don't know why I made a fingering gesture.
It's important.
But there seems to be just a bit of a gap. And like, who knows? Maybe that will change. But whereas Berlin has more of a throughout thing. But the best are not that good. Like they're good, and there's a couple that are really, really good. But like better than Mateo?
No.
Better than Darwa?
No.
Nah. Like
Really?
I'd bet on Mateo against all but, and I'm not going to name who, all but like 2 Berlin comedians. There's 2 Berlin comedians that I'm like, they are better than the rest. But
So if I go to
I think
Berlin,
I think you'd fucking murder in Berlin. Because also we do comedy in Switzerland, we do comedy with Swiss audiences. This is hard mode.
yeah,
This is the other thing. The Berlin comedians complain about German audiences. I'm like, these are not German audiences. These are Berlin audiences. They're super loud. They're super fun. They're super rowdy. And they're like, like people are just being a bit German about humor. I'm like, bro, if you went to Switzerland, you'd fucking eat complete shit for 35 bankers that do not respect you as a human.
Yes, insert my Geneva show.
Yeah. Oh, should we talk about your Geneva show? We can do that. Łukasz, how bad do you think it actually was from what he said?
he painted
Have
it.
your microphone ready, Łukasz. I can't believe you had your microphone down during the... Łukasz was like, I'm taking a break. I'm probably not going to get asked any questions.
Yes.
Who cares? I'm 5/7 of this podcast. I don't give a fuck. I'm just going to order a sandwich.
I'm just one of the hosts, and I already made a friend, so I don't care anymore for the rest of the episode. Yeah. Wait, what was the question?
Geneva.
Yeah, he told me he bombed a lot. It was terrible.
It was the worst I've seen Richard do ever. It was great. I loved it.
Yeah, he was so bummed out about
So
this.
shit, man.
It was interesting to
It's
see.
proper rough when it's like, oh, you traveled for 3 hours. I always find that
And
extra
then
hurts.
3 hours back.
Yeah, when it's like a long one.
Marinating on the bomb.
Painful. Marinating like a piece of meat that you might put in a sandwich.
Hey!
Call back.
Oh, we're going back. Hey.
Yeah.
No,
But you said you felt it was a learning experience, though. Like you said, you
It
seemed
was.
to come out of it with like the right takeaways.
The thing that I'm happy about is that first of all, it hurt.
Yeah.
It hurt a lot, you know,
Right.
and I feel that I was like, okay, let me sip on this pain because that means I care. And I was like, good. So now that I felt the pain, now let's figure out what happened.
Yeah.
You know, and then I got good input from you, you know, of what happened. I also watched the set, and I figured it out that like I did all the wrong decisions I could possibly, like, you know, when you get to a point in the performance, you need to choose, okay, do I double down? Do I back up? Do I change the vibe? Do I connect? Do I do this? And then you have to select.
Yeah.
And I just chose exactly the decision tree that would take me to the biggest bomb I could get. So that was a bunch of just a sequence of
I would
bad
agree.
decisions. Yeah.
Yeah, I was watching and I was like, oh, yeah, he's
No.
gone unhinged. He's lost track. And you know, I wouldn't. It's not a criticism of everyone
no, I
fucking
take
bombs. Like, no, but it's more for like if anyone is listening and I'm sounding like a dick. This is all stuff that I've said privately
Oh
as
yeah,
well.
they know. They know. Me and Kim know.
Yeah, Kim knows. Shout out Kim.
Shout out to all the heroes watching this podcast. Anyway, continue the bombing story. Yeah. You, Mr. I'm from Scotland.
Lukasz's input is so chaotic.
So good.
I really should listen to this sometime.
It's actually good.
I won't. I want Kimmy to have her thing.
No, man. Ivan also listens. Yeah, man, it's fun. So I bombed really bad.
Yeah.
The funny thing is that the last time we were to Geneva together, he also ate shit.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
But we did 2 shows, and first one, yeah, I ate shit. Second was okay. It was.
No, it was. Was it?
It was like how much from 0 to 10, Łukasz?
6.
All right.
So this is interesting because this is what we were discussing slightly last night. Richard and I had a conversation. We were talking about like your personal measure of on the 0 to 10, where like I tend to like give myself really low, but that's because like my scale is very like adjusted. Where I'm like, if it's a 10 out of 10, that means it was the best gig of my life. A 9 out of 10 means it was fucking spectacular, close to the best gig of my life. 8 is like it was really, really solid, really, really good. And then like, so I'll and like everything landed is an 8, and then like so like if I give myself a 6, I don't even think that's necessarily that bad. I think that's like it was okay.
It's doing your job, yeah.
It was alright. Like I wasn't in the zone. It wasn't amazing. No one's gonna remember it, but
yeah, opening for Nabil for me was a 6.
yeah, I think that's about fair. But like that doesn't mean it was bad.
It wasn't bad, but it wasn't close to how good you can do, and that's how I felt about Geneva. I don't felt like
Really?
it was you could do much better. That's what I felt. The second one, I told you that.
Yeah, maybe. But I felt,
Łukasz, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I want to be better. I think I can get better.
As a person or as a comedian?
As a comedian.
As a person, you're just gonna ignore.
Having a girlfriend.
That was so cute.
Oh my god!
Having
So
a
to all the
girlfriend.
girls listening, you know,
So Łukasz,
Or a wife! My wife!
Łukasz, okay, if you were pitching yourself as a boyfriend, what can you offer? What are skills that you bring to the table?
Well, you already mentioned the abs. I'm actually very ripped.
It's surprisingly ripped. Yes,
Yeah.
indeed.
I signed up for the gym again. Yeah, now I'm working on it to get the summer body. So
Nice.
that's one aspect.
Okay.
I can be funny sometimes.
Okay, it's true.
Yeah.
don't we all?
I would confirm that sentence.
Yeah. Sorry for making an awkward pause instead of saying something funny. It wasn't my intention to make it awkward. Or maybe it was. I don't care. I don't care.
You don't. Yeah, Łukasz. Yeah, bring this energy. This is what I want to get from you.
Yeah, I don't care. That's
Rock
another.
and roll, Łukasz. Łukasz, don't give a fuck. Tell me the things you don't give a fuck about. How do you feel about the government?
Yeah, I don't give a fuck.
What about taxes?
I pay them. Yeah, I pay the taxes.
What about Black Lives Matter?
They do.
Okay. What about trans rights?
They do.
What did the non-binary person say at the wedding?
1, 2, 3.
No, they do. Come on.
Yeah, I messed it up, and I did an improv show yesterday, and I don't even know how to do it anymore.
Very good. Dude.
Okay, yeah, cool. No, but your question was very what I bring to the table. Well, coffee, sometimes
In the morning.
in the morning when I make it. Yeah, it's good.
This is the thing I really enjoy with Łukasz, when you're conversing with him, where he'll think of a joke for something that was like 6 sentences ago, and then he just like kind of like fake casually be like, "Oh, we were talking about."
What do we bring to the table?
How he can fucking hammer in his little joke. And then it's some dad core joke.
Coffee.
Would you like to be a father, Łukasz?
Yeah,
Someday or soon?
someday. But I had been thinking now about this because my sister just
Your sister just gave birth. You just became an uncle.
Exactly. I talked to her
Uncle
yesterday. Yeah, so now I'm an uncle, and I saw her on the.
What kind of an uncle do you think you're going to be? A fun uncle, a strict uncle, pedophile?
Fun uncle.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Sure. What are the other 2 options?
No, I'm not attracted to the strictness of it all.
Okay. And the other thing?
I try to make him a joke. Yeah, combining the two. Anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dude, I want kids.
Yeah?
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I want kids, man. I love that shit.
Shout out, Kimmy.
Shout out, Kimmy.
Heroes bring heroes to heroes.
What, are you calling her vagina a Greek sandwich?
Well,
That smells like garlic.
it is tasty.
Don't make it weird.
Drippy.
Okay,
All right,
I made it weird, but-
Okay, we got weird.
No, you want to
Sorry
have
about that.
have kids? How many kids?
I don't know, man. At least 2.
Okay. Boys, girls, both?
Whatever comes, man.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, as
nice.
long as they're not gay. Joke. This is a joke, people. This is a joke.
But why did you say it so seriously? Like, you just looked at me and you were like, I feel like,
You're gay.
I mean, I'm actually bisexual. I prefer if you. I mean, if we're being technical about it, I'm pansexual. I just say I'm bisexual because otherwise people are like, "What the fuck's pansexual?" And it's like, oh, so pansexual implies that there's not a binary of genders, and whereas bisexual implies that it's male or female. And I believe that there's not a binary, and that I would be open. To
All right, people. So we're
non-binary
closing up.
but I guess you could reduce it to I am gay if we're talking about gay as sort of a broader concept of just like a non-traditional sexuality. But I guess by that sense, you might say that someone asexual is gay. Although someone asexual could be gay.
All right,
because they
people.
might be
This is a
romantically
Brolish
attracted,
podcast.
as opposed to
It
sexually
was very
attracted.
good that you guys came here to
And,
join
the
us.
other
I've
thing
been your
is
host,
that, like,
Richard Cunha.
I'm Łukasz Seget, and our guest today
Our
was...
guest today is Teddy Hall. You guys are lovely,
incredibly queer.
and I see you guys
But I
next
enjoy
time.
Being queer as like a expression of myself, authentic sexuality. Richard's a fag.
Teddy, are you an artist or just gay?
You're not on comic strip.
Yeah!